Hey everyone. Okay, today's video is going to make your blood boil because when I went through the numbers for this one, I honestly sat back and thought there is no way this is what Aussies are being forced to deal with right now. And what makes this even worse is that this is not a one-off mistake or some bad luck cycle. Wherever I look, the government fails, the crisis worsens, and Aussies are the ones left paying the price. So for this video, I went through all the reports, all the data, all the latest economic numbers, all the latest commentary, and I put everything together so you can get a complete picture of what is happening in this country right now. How people have been pushed into this position, how deep this crisis really is, and how it is already shaping your future, whether you realize it or not. Stay with me because I'm going to walk you through real, publicly available data and show you why the housing crisis has officially hit a breaking point and why incompetence and negligence from our government are now the only explanations that make sense. Quick one before we get into it, if you want regular breakdowns on property and the economy so you can stay a property insider, hit subscribe and hit the bell icon and then come straight back because this one really matters. All right, let's get into it. So in this first part, let's talk about how rent has hit a breaking point. Let's start with the thing that hits first because you feel it every single week. This is your rent. Now, national median rent has now pushed to a new record high, sitting around $650 a week. And that number really matters because it means the average renter now needs to find roughly an extra $1,560 every single year just to stay exactly where they are. That is not lifestyle inflation, this is survival inflation. Now, most Aussies are not getting an extra $1,500 a year handed to them. So what actually happens is people are forced to cut back on essentials, stretch their budgets to the limit, give up privacy, take on housemates, move further away from work, or move back in with family. They sacrifice everything except the one thing they cannot sacrifice, which is shelter, somewhere to live. This is what our reality has come to. And if you are sitting there thinking, okay, renting is brutal, maybe buying is the escape route, this is where it actually gets worse. Because if you think renting is bad, trying to enter the housing market right now is even harder. In part 2, house prices are making escape impossible. Here is what is happening at the same time. Australia is not building anywhere near enough homes to meet demand, and that gap is now feeding directly into house prices. If supply keeps lagging by this much, there is no scenario where prices magically stabilize. They will keep rising year after year, and you do not need theory to see this. I'm going to throw a bunch of real headlines on the screen. Sydney's median house price pushing towards $1.76 million. Brisbane house prices spiking by $3,800 per week. This is madness. Perth surging past the $1 million mark after massive quarterly jumps. Adelaide joining the $1 million club after double-digit annual growth. Everywhere you look, prices are moving at record levels, and yet, despite all of this, the government keeps coming out saying they are doing everything they can to fix the housing crisis. And my question is, where is the evidence? We are not seeing new homes delivered at scale. We are not seeing infrastructure rolled out fast enough to support growth areas. We are not seeing the bottlenecks removed. Aussies are being fed words while prices keep climbing. A home becoming 6 figures more expensive over a few years is not a healthy market. It is catastrophic. And this is where most Aussies get trapped. You are getting hit from both sides. Rents keep rising because there are not enough homes. Inspections have 40 people lining up for a single property, all trying to outbid each other just to secure a roof. At the same time, prices keep rising because there are still not enough homes being built. So people ask one simple question. Where are we supposed to go? How are we supposed to plan a future? How are we supposed to raise kids in this environment? And this is why the housing crisis has hit a breaking point. Now in part 3, this is what the crisis is doing to real Aussies. Now let me show you what all of this looks like in real life, because this is the part the government never talks about. I'm going to show you the real Aussie families who have come forward and shared exactly what the crisis is doing to their lives. Take Kai and Molly. They're a young couple living on the Sunshine Coast. They didn't move cities for a lifestyle upgrade. They didn't go off grid for fun. They were pushed out of their rental, couldn't find another one, and had no real options left. So they moved into a caravan and started living off grid on a mate's land just to stay afloat. Then you've got renters saying they cannot plan their lives at all because their homes can disappear overnight with one email. No certainty, no stability, no ability to plan kids, schooling, or even where they'll be living next month. And then we wonder why birth rates are collapsing and mental health is deteriorating. And if you think that's bad, look what's happening at the bottom end of the rental market. People are now inspecting rentals with 8 or 9 others living in the same house. Shared rooms, broken facilities, conditions that look more like a prison than a home. This is what Aussies are being forced to accept just to put a roof over their heads. And while all of this is happening, governments are approving projects that bulldoze existing affordable units in places like Sydney, only to replace them with luxury apartments. And overall, fewer apartments. So we've got fewer homes, higher prices, more people pushed out, at a time when we are supposedly in a housing emergency. That is not bad luck. That is incompetence. And in some cases, it is outright negligence. This is why people are angry, and they have every right to be. So in part 4, let's talk about what this means for you. So what do you do with all of this? If you're a home buyer, stop waiting for perfect. That window is gone. You don't need a 20% deposit or your dream home. You need a foothold. You need to get onto the property ladder. Use the 2 to 5% schemes, get into something affordable, and secure a roof while you can. Waiting is not protecting you anymore. It's pushing you backwards. You may even have to look interstate to get on the property ladder. If you're renting, I know how brutal this is. I've lived it. Living week to week, not knowing if the next email blows up your life. This is not your failure. The system is broken. Do whatever you need to do to get through this phase and save what you can, because stability only comes once you own something, even if it's small. And if you're an investor, whether people like it or not, you are needed. The government isn't delivering supply, councils are blocking projects, and renters are paying the price. If you have capacity, focus on new builds and new supply, because that is where the pressure is and where the demand is coming from. There's a lot of competition for old existing properties at auctions and through buyer's agents, but you absolutely can still get wholesale prices when you're buying brand new. All right, guys, that's my take on the state of our country and the housing market right now. If you've been through this or you know someone who's struggling, drop a comment below. It's important we talk about it. Let me know what you thought about the video as well. If this helped, hit like, hit subscribe, and make sure you hit the bell icon so you don't miss one of these daily updates. I post these every single day, a quick 5 to 7 minute breakdown on the property market and the economy so that you can stay ahead of what is actually happening in the market and become and stay a property insider. I'll see you guys at the next one. Thanks for watching.